All right, so guys, this next formation we're going to take a look at is going to be the dime normal. This is a good formation just because the DB blitz 0 is a really effective blitz. And you've also got this cover 1 robber press, which is a really good defense to actually have in your back pocket. The other formations here, the Tampa 2 and the cover 3 buzz, we're going to go ahead and swap that out. The one play I like with the swapping of the cover 3 is this double buzz. It's really rare to have a double buzz in the game, so that's what I do like about it. And then also the Tampa 2, we're going to swap that out because we're going to have basically the cover 4 palms as a defense we're going to jump into. Now, the way I like to run this your defense is using the double safety blitz. And the reason why is that it allows me to bring my safeties down to play down towards the line of scrimmage, and I can make my adjustments with my defense from there. And we're going to go and run basically random defenses. Now, one other thing too, let's just go ahead and look, choose a new play. We might run this with man align defenses, or base align. So man align, obviously that's going to get you guys out there, but base align is good. And I'm not going to make any other adjustments. We're going to stay with match coverages. So let's just go and jump into that again and play with some cover 2. So what's cool about this defense is that you've got access to basically cover 4 palms, or you can jump into basically cover 4. It's really going to give that really intimidating front up front. So I've got 9 guys down in the box. They're all playing run fits, and I've got outside deep zones out there. So this actually has got a better run fits out there to go and use against your opponent with the setup. Now you can use cover 4 quarters opposed to palms with this defense. But this is going to give you a pretty effective way to go ahead and attack your opponent if they decide to run the ball. So no running the ball. I'm just going to play the middle of the field and then to see if I can go ahead and just get in the middle of the field there for an opportunity or an interception opportunity. So let's just go ahead and run this again. Real quick adjustments. This is good if on a first down type situation, you want to get a feel for what your opponent is doing and then just try to take away some reads that way and where he wants to go with it. So just go ahead and run this again. Cover 4 palms. You can use the quarters if you want to, but we got these guys down in the box. CPU chooses not to run that, but you can see where he's got all that. Those slants are basically all just tied up, and he has nowhere to go with it. Now, what you can do is you can leave this play as is, and what I like to do is I like to go ahead and make some type of adjustment with my defense, where I'm actually going to use this safety, and then I'm going to go ahead and take one of my line guys and actually drop them into curl flats, and maybe take my one defender and put him in a deep third. And this is good if you shade on the inside, just to try to prevent any kind of crossers. But we've also got just another way to go ahead and attack our opponent if he tries to run the ball. So great animation right there, but this will blend in some type of a man coverage against your opponent, so you can go ahead and do the same type of a look. So I'm going to go ahead and take these guys off. I'm going to put this guy in a deep blue out there, or maybe a deep half. And what this does is this just kind of give your opponent kind of a different look right here. And then if he's checking down in the middle of the field, that's fine, exactly what we want to do. Conversely, what you can do is you can take your outside edge defenders and put them into vert hooks. They're going to essentially go deep, and you're just going to go ahead and use your way any kind of routes and stuff like that. So it's just another thing you can do. Now, what I like, if I'm going to run man coverages, one of the things that my preference is, if I'm going to run man coverages, I'm going to jump into this cover 1 robber press. And the reason why is I've got a deep zone already set up, or I've got a 3-ruck hook. So what I can do, if I want to go ahead and make sure that my opponent's not hitting me underneath, if he's doing a lot of drag routes, I can go ahead and set up a defense like so, where I'm only sending basically 3 guys out there. It's very easy to adjust that out, and I've got a 3-ruck hook that's going over the middle of the field. And then just try to see if you can make any kind of reads from there. Conversely, if I want to make sure to defend the middle of the field, I can go ahead and jump into this, take user control this guy, and then set these guys out in flat zones, maybe cloud flats, if I think he's going to be trying to hit the outside sidelines. And if I got a bunched in set like this, I want to do outside pass coverage. I want, you go ahead and hit me in the middle of the field if you got a compressed set. Compressed set, usually you're going to try to hit the outside. If they're spread out, they want to go on the inside. So this is what's cool about this your set, like so. I'm going to do inside shade against anybody that's got their offensive spread out. And just see if you can go and hit, corner route like that. If I had a cloud flat out there, I might have had a guy that fell back into that. You can leave the blitz formula in there. So this is actually kind of an effective way to go ahead and blitz against your opponent. He's probably not going to be used to checking that. So I'm going to inside shade so there's no fast read with the drags. And this essentially will basically give me an opportunity where I can, if I do an inside shade, if he tries to throw inside, I can actually hit him with this blitz. So I'm going to do inside shade. I'm going to go and blitz my middle linebacker, and my responsibility is that tight end on the edge. And you can see those guys come into inside of the pressure. Now, if you want to go with another blitz, you can do the DBO. And the best thing to do is to press inside shade, and then you want to pinch that line down, and then you want to mug basically the gap. And you have to take away the running back. That's going to be the route that you have to be concerned about, because the running back is going to do that. But what's cool about this particular play is that it's going to get some pressure in immediately. He's going to have to block 7 to stop this. So QB spy, just to get some pressure. My responsibility is going to be that inside seam by the tight end. And you can see how this guy actually just messes up the run fits by pinching the line down. So this shuts down the run too. So if you got a guy that's running a lot of run plays against you, you can go and set this up as your base play. QB spy. My responsibility is the running back. And you can see pressure comes in, but a little bit too late. I didn't get back and react to that route. That's all right. This is something you're going to sprinkle in. Now I've got to defend the seam guy right here. So I've got to get out to that seam. What you can do is you can go ahead and just, if you have the time, you can go ahead and adjust like so. And that's going to go ahead and put a guy out to the seam like that. But that's going to get the pressure in quick, and he's going to have to make a fast read. So you can show your opponent the same type of a look and then come into like a quarters look. Blitz your guys down like this. He might think that it's going to be a fast read, and he's probably going to think to himself, "Oh, I got to get rid of that ball." You can go and show him the same type of a look. And conversely, you can go into cover 3 with the double seam. Show your opponent the same type of a look. And you're just going to mug the middle of the gap, and then you just kick back up to kind of a deep zone out there. So that's just another thing you can do against your opponent, just to try to mess them up. Another thing you can do with the blitz is you can take these outside guys that usually are going to be playing blitzing angles. You can put these guys in the seam flats, and this is really going to mess your opponent up if he's looking to hit the corner out. That's actually going to kind of mess up his reads a little bit. So that's a good way to go ahead and set him up for a play opportunity. And if you wanted to, you can go ahead and show your guys a blitz like this. You can go ahead and take your guys and actually put them into halves, and that actually would kind of mess your opponent up a little bit too, because you got those halves falling back. So this is just another way to go and set this up. This is a very diverse defense. And what I like about it is that it provides you got some outside blitzing, you've got really outside blitzing, you've got some gap blitzing that you can use against your opponent. So you can see right here that gap comes in. It's just a great way to go and blend in, just a bunch of different looks against your opponent that he's probably not used to seeing. So we could do something like this, and this is going to kind of set things up on how you want to go ahead and try to defend against your opponent. So now we've got some underneath stuff, and if he wants to go ahead and throw, you can do that. It's really fun to kind of do stuff like that. So I'll experiment with this defense a little bit more. What I like about it is having that cover 4 option. It's going to give you some run fits. It's going to make sure that coverage is way over the top. And it just makes it difficult for your opponent to defend against it. So let's jump into the dollar defense. This has got the most flexibility, and it has multiple ways that you can run it. So let's go ahead and jump into that now.